Hello and welcome everybody to our monthly marketing meetup here at VBOUT. We will be discussing everything you need to know about cold email strategies, hacks, and tips to improve your email game. I want to start by saying Happy New Year to everybody and many thanks for supporting our community and supporting our events every single month. I'll try my best to answer every single question. It's probably going to be a small turnout because we did not push too much on this event, as we'll be having a second one this month with a special guest. But with that being said, I wanted to do a small workshop with you guys to talk about cold email strategies. So welcome Delino, Eddie, Gio, Scott, and Yasmin AI for joining us today. Just like everything else, the recording, the slides will be provided after this meeting, and you'll be able to download them and access them as well. So let's begin. Before I do that, quick question. How many of you are doing cold email campaigns today? Cold email outreach. Please drop me in the chat if you are doing any. And what do you would like to get out of this topic today? So in terms of cold emails, many of you know already what or how much volume there is just by looking at your inbox. You have hundreds and hundreds of emails every week, either being filtered out to your spam, to your promotions tab, or even not reaching your inbox altogether. Now, by 2027, it's estimated that the daily volume of emails are going to hit 408 billion emails daily. Daily. So that's a huge volume. What that means is how you and your company are going to stand out, how you can understand the current status of email marketing, focusing on cold email, and what are the things that we can deploy to optimize. This is pretty much how my inbox looks like on a daily basis, and I do have filters in place, so this is probably about 10% of what makes it to the inbox. Now you will notice how crowded it is. It's really hard for the eye, or for any human being for that matter, to be able to look at this and identify what to go through. So it's either going to be some cues, people we know, conversations we already had with somebody, an offer that I cannot refuse, or it could be a very catchy subject line, something that I'm on the market for. So its quality is quite bad. That's another issue. Beside the volume, is that because the entry to barrier to entry to the cold email or any email for that matter has gotten so much easier that the quality is getting worse and worse. Now, after sending 1 billion emails here on VBOUT last year, or in the last 2 years, we've learned a thing or two about what makes a proper and successful email campaign. So I'm going to share with you those tips. Hopefully you can take it, recycle it, share it with your team. And I didn't only apply those to our campaigns, and we've seen tremendous improvements in the responses, but also we've seen it hands-on, working with 5,000 plus businesses and looking at their own data and the results at the end of the day. Okay. Now, of course, you're already part of our community. If you haven't, just look me up on LinkedIn. I would love to get a follow, connect, and answer any additional questions after this event. So any support from you definitely helps. I want to start first by talking about what happens before starting your cold email campaign. And that comes down to prospecting. A lot of companies have limitations and issues, including ourselves, including some of the top corporate, uh, I would say, companies out there. They do struggle from time to time finding the right prospects and exporting those prospects. Then there are many methods to do it, some of which I've covered on previous events. If you're following us and you've attended before, you certainly know what I'm referring to. But researching your ideal customer profile, which I'll refer to from here on as ICP, is important. You have to find the proper search terms and the proper filters to get to that buyer. So if you notice, Sales LinkedIn Navigator certainly a good place to go. Primarily, unlike other channels like Apollo and Zoom Info and any data source, they tend to have people updating their information on more frequent basis, especially when people switch companies, they turn off their old work email, they get a new one. So it tend to have the best and most up-to-date data overall. It's not 100% perfect, but it does certainly have some of the best. So you can start your search from Sales Nav. It's one of the places using their existing filters. And by the way, we can do a whole session on just that, but they do have some things to drill down, not only by job function, by key terms, but you can also look up people who change jobs. Sometimes they can onboard you as a new service or supplier. It could be somebody who has posted something in the past. That could be your target. So depending obviously on what you're selling, but overall leverage the filters in Sales Nav to create search. Okay, and many of you have probably done this in the past. Now, does it have to be Sales Navigator? I know there's a membership involved. It does not. You can do it on the LinkedIn regular membership site, but it won't provide you with the depth of the filters that you're looking at here. So that's step one. Now, many might be doing multi-touch points like 7 to 12, and LinkedIn is one of them. So you can certainly uh, use LinkedIn to send out an outreach, to connect, to like a content. Each one of those could be a touch point, but I'm referring to exporting the emails in this case. So once you've done so, there are wealth of tools. In this case, I'm just showing you Apollo's overlay plugin, which can be installed on your Chrome or Firefox. Once you've gotten your research results, like you see here, the overlay from Apollo or similar tools that you might be using will allow you to multi-select and export those leads. So that's a simple way to get started, is to find a proper ICP from the market. Are you targeting CMOs? Are you targeting CFOs? Perhaps you're just, consumer based. Regardless, if you're finding your target here, export them and you got your initial target audience. There are other tools, Easy Scraper, and I forgot one of the community members shared this in the past. It works really, really well. It's a free plugin. It's not going to export your information or the emails of the people. But let's say you're on LinkedIn, I'm sorry, Instagram, and you're trying to collect the list of people who commented on a recipe of choice, and you're selling cookbook, right? And you want to reach out to those people to try to see if there's an opportunity for you to sell them. So to export it, you can literally load Easy Scraper, which is a Chrome plugin. It's going to pull every single username on the comment section, load them inside an Excel, and you can download that Excel so you can continue working with that file. Okay? Obviously, there's a lot more to it, but I'm more referring to right now are ways to find the leads and export the leads from the web, but also to add some sort of quality to it. Now, why am I sharing those very small techniques out of hundreds available? Is because there's some relevance. These are people who are either your target market, either interested in the topic or the product that you're selling, and also sending signals, getting involved by leaving a comment, watching a video, and so on. There's another method, which is LinkedIn events. If you're looking for intent, and I think that's the most underrated signal on the market, is intent. If you find the people who are looking for a solution like yours, it's a lot easier than just to go after the 99% who are not interested at the moment. And that's basically every market. There's this small 1% of the entire target market that's out there looking for a solution. And it's really tough to convert, especially counting your competitors, the timing, the price, and multiple variables. So with that being said, to find the proper intent will help you optimize your target. And you can look up your LinkedIn events that are relevant to you. Check those that have attendees. And as you can see right here, it doesn't matter what it is. Let's say in this case, email marketing. and connect with those people. The only way to connect is for you to uh, join the event. And once you join, you can see the attendees and you can connect with them by one by either using the overlay from enrichment tools or to hit them up directly from LinkedIn. So these are very simple ways for you to um, start with a list that's relevant, better quality, and allows you to test different target markets versus just assuming and sending to a whole chunk at the same time. All right. By the way, any questions, leave them in the chat. I'll do my best to get to every single one. Um, and thanks everybody who joined it after, and Happy New Year as well. All right. Continuing with some of the problems that we see and things to avoid. So one, you have to vet your data after you've exported. Don't just export things and use them as face value. I've seen a lot of people send out email campaigns and it was the wrong name, the wrong company, the wrong industry. And that's the problem with enrichment tools. Try to vet your data. If it's a couple of hundred people, spend an additional 20 minutes to make sure that those, first 50 records are actually good and they are relevant. Okay, this is really important because I get emails like this all the time. My name is not Zainatul. I'm Richard. Obviously, you guys I notice already, but I mean, it looks bad and immediately it's a wasted email. The wrong industry is another one. Because people change jobs, a lot of the enrichment tools on the market, they tend to have people who worked at that industry, let's say 2 jobs ago or 5, 10 years ago. The average enrichment tool, and I'll be transparent, or at least from my experience, the data is people who from 2 years ago. 1 year if you're using a very good tool. Most of them don't update and refresh the data on a daily, weekly, or even monthly basis. Some of the top tools that I've spoken to, they say that we refresh the data on a quarterly basis. But quite frankly, the if you ask me, because pardon me, I've compared data in the past across platforms, and those who had the best quality data had a gap of about 12 to 14 months in their results. So vet the industry, especially if you're including it as a merge tag inside your email. Use an email validation. Many of you use something already. In VBOUT, we built an integrated tool. So when you import your list, you can vet that. You can buy credits and run it, or if you have something more affordable, by all means. But that will allow you to weed out the bad emails. And don't underestimate the importance of this. Now, the beauty about VBOUT is with billions of records in our database, if we know an email is non-existent anymore, so very specific types of bad emails, we have a global database of contacts. So you might see out of your 10,000 people import, we suppress, let's say 50 of them because it matches our global database of bad emails. So it's being built over the last few years. And honestly, it allows us to, in each account that comes in, to have what I would say validation, immediate validation on import about 2%. But adding a layer of email validation would not hurt. Create the needed data fields. If you are going to personalize, I think it's important for you to choose what kind of data to export and what kind of data to import on the platform. I've shared in the past with you an awesome AI plugin to Google Sheet that hooks up with ChatGPT and can enrich the data. I have the video somewhere on our Facebook group. You have full access to it. It allows you to, let's say, scrape after you've exported the data from LinkedIn or Apollo. The plugin that I wrote and put together scrapes the website. So it goes to the client's website row by row. It scrapes all the data. It then summarizes the industry and the services. And based on that, it writes a specific email opener and a specific subject line. So you can do it at bulk for thousands of records. And I've installed this very nice script and a nice menu. So once you've installed it, follow the instructions. It's an easy click to populate your file. So enrich your data and personalize. Luckily, with the power of AI, we have the ability to do these kind of things. Um, by all means, I recommend you use it. So the tool is something that I put together. Let me see if I can share it with you. I think I called it AI Content Generation Wizard. Let's see. All right, so this is the tool. It basically I added a little script. There's something in Google Sheet called scripts. You can access those under extensions, app scripts, and I created those menus right here. So I give you access to script and everything else along with it. Um, I think if you Google it, you might you might find it on uh, YouTube. But also, I have a full-on video on this inside our Facebook group. Sorry, I'm trying to get access to it to give it to you. Uh, the VBOUT, my name. Anyways, I'll make it available again, but the sheet is quite easy to use. All right. Now let's talk about spam compliance. Moving on to part two of this, after you've vetted the data, found your ICP, you've imported and enriched everything with AI, the right way at scale, we need to understand CAN spam compliance laws. Every country lets you send out emails using and following different laws and rules. In the United States, you can send out cold emails, but you have to include an opt-out at the bottom of the email, and you have to include your information as well as a company. If you're missing any of these, technically you are in breach of spam compliance laws, and technically you are liable for $42,000 or $43,000 in fines if somebody wants to be a spam compliance attorney troll. To protect yourself, understand the local laws, and always include one click unsubscribe, company details, and be transparent about who you are as a company. We have a chart in VBOUT that lets you kind of look up your country. Um, and you can simply Google CAN spam compliance laws by country, and I think we are one of the top results there. Um, yes, for the first touch, you can send out emails for in the United States. Other countries, there might need to be some sort of opt-ins, and towards the end of the session, I'm gonna go over some ways for you to collect leads from social media. In Europe, it's a lot more strict, obviously. You can see here, cold outreach is not allowed. Now, there are ways to get around it by, sending out like a one-to-one and asking if we can send them an email. So it's like an opt-in or pre-opt-in email. But quite frankly, I don't want to, encourage any of this because you have to be compliant. And with that, understanding your local laws is important. On the bottom, you need one click on subscribe. You can also add your preferences if you'd like to build that, but preferences alone is not in full compliance with last year's Google and Yahoo's new laws, which is one click and the person needs to be removed. Preferences, usually they have to follow multiple additional steps by choosing what they want to be opted in or opted out of. Okay. I always include company information at the footer of the email to be fully transparent and to communicate to people that we are legit and not just selling a flyby product. Awesome. In terms of what happens with those who don't engage with your cold emails, it's really important for you to have a policy, something that most companies that come to VBOUT, they tell us we never really worried about this. but you need to do something about the data and people who are not engaging. Not only to cold emails, ideally also to your community as a whole. So people who don't open, you can create some sort of a sunset. And an example of VBOUT, we do send 3 to 4 emails for cold outreach. And then we push them into our general marketing emails. And within 3 months, if they don't engage with any of our content, they're usually given a couple of options just to get less emails, I believe, or to be completely unsubscribed if they don't do anything. So figure out what your sunset policy is. You can be very strict by unsubscribing completely after a certain time, or you can move them to a less active list and sending them emails less frequently. Okay. Now, Ash said that in France, he does cold email without a problem. We just make sure to give the option to opt out. There you go. As long as you know and you're confident with the laws, by all means. So let's talk about the email copy, what to do and what not to do. And this is really where a lot of companies, after they've gotten the basics, they fail. One, set up the proper DNS. In VBOUT, you cannot even send out emails unless you have those 3 SPF, DKIM, and DMARC set up. I also encourage you set up your BIMI record. BIMI is a fourth optional authentication that stamps your logo as a company to your emails in certain ESPs. So SPF, DKIM, and DMARC are now all a must. In VBOUT, you cannot send out emails without doing that. But if you're using other platforms, make sure that you also set this up. Otherwise, your emails will probably have very bad results. Very basic, but essential step for any email campaign. So the BIMI record, as I mentioned, you can see the emails on the top left. The logo usually, I think you can upload it to your own profile if you're using Gmail, and they will show that image. But if not, it's better to have your logo added in the BIMI. Yes, Evangel, exactly. It's SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and BIMI record. And by the way, in VBOUT, we honestly have all these recorded and shared with you. So if you are wondering how to set these things, you can go to help.vbout.com. Each one of them has a video and has a resource, like the BIMI record. What is BIMI? And just follow the steps. Super, super simple. Now, the logo helps not only visually, but also from an authentication perspective, because you need to have stricter SPF policies for you to be able to enforce the BIMI record, which means your DNS is buttoned up completely. Awesome. Now, invest in subject lines. I know many of you, and today, in fact, I had a long session with my team. We were rewriting some of our emails for new campaigns, and I follow a rule. Whatever your CTA inside your email, your subject line should talk about that. So if you're wondering, what should I make in my subject line? Look at your CTA. What is it that you're sending out? Where are they downloading? Are they booking a demo? Are they watching a video, downloading a guide? Are they signing up to an event? Take that and create a subject line that mimics it. Now, there are some rules to follow in subject lines. Don't make it too long. I think 6 words are plenty. Personalize if you can. Use positive keywords, emojis, of course, personalization. I say it for the second time. And VBOUT, we have a tool that lets you grade your subject line. Once you type it and you click outside, it scores it and it compares it to hundreds of thousands of campaigns based on the best results. So you can use that built-in tool, but you can also test yourself or even A/B test yourself. Awesome. Now, personalization can happen in different places. And I know I'm going to sound silly here by going over it because many of you are already savvy enough, but you'll be surprised how many companies do not focus on where to personalize exactly. So personalizing subject line. Also, personalizing your pre-header. You see the pre-header right there can be personalized with the person's name or company. Pre-header has a limit of 30 characters. Ideally, try not to go over 30 characters because then it's going to get cut off. I had to zoom out extensively to see the full line here, but I encourage you just keep it at 30 so it's visible inside most screens. So do you personalize the subject line? Do you personalize the copy? Do you personalize the CTA? Some people put a button and they put the names of people there. Honestly, this is going to be up to you. I do recommend personalize as much as possible because people have a direct relationship with their name or the company they work for. They can see it subconsciously by browsing through a page or skimming through it. So that's why personalization works. Um, exactly, eventually. It goes beyond its name and the subject and the header, obviously in the copy. And that's why I provided that tool that allows you to personalize using AI. So every person on your campaign could be getting a completely different subject line and a completely different first line of emails. Okay. All right. So keep your emails simple. This is a nice example of a simple and straight to the point email. It's not too extensive. I've seen things very long. Usually a paragraph with proper spacing, and like you see here, there's a name of the person. Um, I think there was an option to unsubscribe, but overall, it's straightforward. You can add to the simplicity of the email by including a media, personalized video. We haven't seen best results when including in the first email a personalized video, so I do recommend that on the second or third email. However, testing is the best way to go about it. It might be because getting the first email with the media gets stricter filters, scanning those images for any potential viruses or downloads. There's no, I would say, concise answer for this. Um, so call it simple plus plus, add it to the second or third email sequence, not the first one. Follow the problem solution hook technique, something I've covered, I think, 3 webinars ago. The problem is opener. What is it that I'm reaching out for? And that's what intent really helps. So if somebody attended an event on, let's assume, theme parks for kids because they're interested in franchising, if the opener is, are you looking to open a new venue for franchising an entertainment business, we have an opportunity for you. So you've immediately tackled the problem. And the solution is you have a solution, whatever, a franchising opportunity that allows them to open their theme park for less than 100,000. And the hook is what's the next step? Okay. There are many ways to do the hook, either by letting them reply back directly to the email, which is the easiest form of reply. Obviously, having a link to a calendar to book an appointment usually requires multiple steps, I would say. Um, or if you have downloadables and other things to send them there. Do try to put some urgency and deadlines on offers, especially in the first email. You don't want to leave it open-ended if you're offering something for free. So that's it. The PSH technique is certainly um, a powerful way to do it. Now choose your cadence carefully. A lot of companies, they say depending on industry, if it's a longer sales cycle, anywhere from 10 to 15, shorter sales cycle, 3 to 7. Don't ask me why, that seems to work. And you can stretch it beyond just email. It could be a combination of 3 to 4 emails and 3 LinkedIn outreach, which includes connection invite, a like to a post, if any, and 1 or 2 messages follow-ups. Some people are using snail mail by sending like a piece of paper. Um, for example, I've gotten this letter from somebody. I don't know if you can see it, but I didn't get an email. I just get a letter inviting me to an event, which is like 4 pages. And they send a little coin that came along with it, which is 50 cents worth. I thought it was a unique touch. Um, Obviously, I was part of a cadence of some sort, which stood out from the crowded inbox. Now, we don't have in VBOUT direct integration with Snailmail per se, but using APIs and webhooks, you can do this. And we have dozens of clients who are actually leveraging webhooks and VBOUT's APIs to send details of people at, let's say, the last step to their own provider to send out snail mail. Okay. I recommend three emails and a fourth as a follow-up in case there was some correspondence or interest in between. Okay. Now, once people don't complete this, always use tagging. I like adding tags to things. Whereas to stop the cadence, you can see right here, I'm stopping the cadence if somebody engaged. So we are manually tagging people, or we're using some sort of a, like if somebody booked on our calendar, which integrates in VBOUT, we will tag them and then pause the sequence for that person. So these are small things to avoid, um, sending reminders to people that already have engaged or showed interest, right? It doesn't look good. So that being said, when you're building the cadence to send out those emails, make sure you integrate the proper tagging and the proper filters. You can add and create all these things in VBOUT, by the way, which is the power of using an integrated system like us. Awesome. So I now have some questions. I'm going to revisit those as well. But let's talk now about okay, here we go. Always have an exit giveaway at the last email. So if you built your cadence, you decided on 4 emails over the course of 2 weeks, make your last email a solid giveaway. It could be a downloadable link to a powerful resource. It could be a pre-recorded workshop. It could, whatever it is. The reason being, if somebody decides to engage with the last email without having a conversation, that could be a signal that they're interested, but not now. So they could be pipelined again for future correspondence. Or you can be aggressive enough so they do engage with that free offer to give them a call and try to, have a demo or have a conversation. With that being said, don't make your last email, I'm here to check if you're busy. I'm never gonna bother you again. I just want to make sure you got this. No, you can say, hey, it seems like it's not the right time. However, here's a link to this resource. Humor can be good inside emails. Honestly, this is a short introduction for a cold email, um, talking about our AI chatbots. And people liked it. Every person that we booked through these emails seemed to have shown interest. And they said that the email was, straight to the point and funny. So try humor in some cases. It doesn't apply to all industries. And A/B test it to see if that will um, land you more responses. So now we're going to talk about the don'ts, what to avoid. One, don't outsource every single copy or the entire email to AI. As you know, you can read something like this. Many people are using this technique. They're saying they're talking about me 3, 4 times during lunch, and then they have a CC below that's saying that it's between John and whoever that person is talking about me. That's, we can see through that this copy is not right. Don't outsource your entire email to AI. That's all I have to say about this because people can now identify these copies immediately. The tool that I provided earlier lets you personalize the first line. Okay, and you have to vet the data before you import it and start sending it. So with that being said, please be careful because that doesn't look too good. Stay away from the bullet point openers. You don't want to send people on the first try 5, 6 things they can go over. Everybody's busy and overwhelmed. Sending them a bullet point is just going to add to their daily tasks. So stay away from bullet points, particularly in the first email. Now, if maybe the second or the third can include up to three, don't exceed 3 bullet points on what you're trying to cover, perhaps. But the first one, shy away from it. Now, don't be bland. For example, this is a very boring opener that I see a lot. I came across your LinkedIn profile and saw that you work at VBOUT as a CEO. I'd love your feedback on an idea on sales in your field. This is a very common opener. It's very bland. It doesn't stand out. And quite frankly, I've yawned after the first three words. Um, so don't be bland. Don't try to outsmart the inbox. And I know many are using tools like um, inbox, lead inbox, and I forgot. There are a few others that you can connect multiple Gmail or Outlook inboxes and send out 200 to 300 emails from each inbox per day to get around the headers and use the default Gmail SMTP. That's not the best way, in my opinion, to do cold emails because compliance tools are not baked in. The one click on subscribe. Also, you're using something that wasn't meant to be used, which is Gmail is not meant to be used for cold email outreach per se. Now, I know it can bring some results initially, but in this year, we predict that this method is going to be a lot tougher to crack through. So using a tool that allows you to send higher volume, fully compliant, is what we do recommend. But just be careful. Don't buy multiple domains, multiple inboxes, rotate between them, because that might not look too good this upcoming year. Don't write a novel. I couldn't catch the whole email here, but you want to keep it short and sweet. Like I mentioned in the first example, people don't want to read a lot. So if you're sending or reaching out to someone, imagine you have 5 seconds to capture their attention. And usually the 5 seconds is the first line of copy here. Okay. Don't get too emotional. I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to touch base to see if you're interested. I mean, this is too much emotions going on. So I believe staying away from these bland openers um, and get straight to the point as well. It's not about you. So if you're reaching out to someone, remember the method, the problem solution hook, PSH. Talking about yourself and what you do really doesn't help. So if you're talking to, you send an email to somebody out of the blue, opening it up and reading, and you're all you're doing is mentioning your accomplishments and who you are, um, it's not probably the best way to go about it. Don't give them a lot of work. I often see the second, third email saying, "Hey, did you get the chance to see my last email? I just want to make sure that you're interested." This is homework. Um, just repeat the offer. Imagine the second and the third email are being read for the first time now. And if you're exiting with the last one, exit with an offer. So these are some of the don'ts. I'll take any questions if anyone has any. So Yasmin, I know you have to leave. No problem. Thank you for attending. Um, Eddie, I'm not sure what your question is pertaining to VBOT not letting you log in and creating an account. Please open a ticket with support if this is something pertaining to the platform. All right. I don't see any questions, so we can continue. So I'm going to talk about how to use social media funnels and AI chatbots to generate leads in case you want to extend your cold email prospecting to those additional channels. So if you've attended my past releases, I've talked a little bit about these, but I'll repeat. First is adding an AI chatbot trained on your data is a must this year. If you haven't done it, find a platform that does it. VBOUT offers an integrated tool that lets you collect leads, build your own AI chatbots, and launch it. And you can literally be up and running in 10, 15 minutes. The bot is powered by ChatGPT and OpenAI's API, so it's the best of the best. It's your own data, so it's not going to grab anything on the web. And it's agent-oriented, meaning it's going to generate leads for you if you want. It's going to answer customer support questions, and it integrates with all your social media, or at least the top social media channels. So your Facebook DM, your Instagram DM, your WhatsApp channel if you're international, and your website. All can have 24/7 and 60 plus languages answering questions. Now, the bots in VBOUT can be programmed to collect leads, meaning after one or two questions, you can prompt for emails and names. And that's the way that it's supposed to, or one of the ways that it's supposed to function. So if you're looking to turn your social media inboxes into a potential lead magnet, that's one way to do it. The second one is using the comment to DM automation. This one is started last year to trend with e-commerce companies and specific brands. Now we launched it in VBOUT and we've seen amazing results with it. The way it works is every single content that you push out on Instagram, and by the way, very soon we're going to have that on Facebook. You can add a call to action and say, if you'd like to get this offer, download this ebook, access the workshop, leave the keyword blueprint in the comment section. Now we're tapping into people's behaviors of scrolling, commenting, scrolling, commenting. And instead of having to click to go to a site, read the content, fill out a form, check the email, right now we're doing it directly inside the comment section. It certainly cuts down the behavior in half or the steps to get there. Um, and it's very easy to do. You go on, you're creating your awesome content, whatever it may be, add that one keyword you want them to type in the comment section. And in VBOUT, the moment that they do leave the comment, we start a sequence of DMs inside their Instagram. Okay. And the DMs and the content and the methods, I have a session covering these on our Facebook. But it looks something like this, where you choose your own keyword, then you choose how many DMs to send, and then once they give you their email through the DM, they become part of a sequence. So it's pretty awesome. So this is it, you guys. These are ways to generate leads by using AI chatbots and a comment to DM automation if you want to extend from doing your cold email extraction from LinkedIn or your product of choice. I'll take any questions. So Scott is saying single word, keyword are not the best engagement practice. Facebook tends to not promote the post if it does not get significant 5+ word responses. Uh, yeah, you're right, and you can program the bot to have multiple keywords, um, and maybe your objective is not to necessarily, for promotion purposes, but more to capture leads through these, Scott. Um, so I recommend testing it. We added the integration to support multiple keywords. So if you want to make it like a long keyword or 5 or 6 words, you can. Um, so you can get creative on how to use it. So Shurya is asking, is it better to utilize AI agents instead of standard workflows? So I understand that AI agents is a buzzword that everybody's using. Basically, what you're looking at right now could be considered in a way an AI agent. AI agents can be completely hosted on one platform, or it could be multiple platforms patched together, and there's an AI that decides what happens next. In the world of cold emails, I think it's going to be a hybrid. So if the AI chatbot is generating the lead, the automation and the follow-up, I believe so far should be programmed by you and not 100% outsourced to AI. So you can use AI to write single copy, subject lines, stuff like that, but not fully autonomous using an AI agent. Um, because, and maybe you're thinking about AI agent differently than I'm thinking, but speaking to people, responding back to people, and booking an appointment and talking to them on the phone involves human touch, is not fully outsourced. Uh, Ash is saying, I mean, buying several domains with different names is necessary to receive 100 emails a day without being blacklisted. That's if you're using Gmail or Outlook to send out emails. In VBOUT, you can send to 1,000 people using your domain. I don't recommend sending high volume of cold emails from any system or in any way. Keep it low volume, 1,000 to 5,000 every couple of days, I think is plenty. We do anywhere from 500 to 1,000 a day, depending on the target list. And honestly, that could get you the results that you're looking for. Okay. Um, you want to be aggressive. I've seen events-driven companies, they have a deadline and they want attendees and they go all out. They buy 10, 15 domains and they try to send a bulk. Um, but if you're using an email marketing platform to send out your cold emails, I don't think you're going to get blacklisted if you went up to 1,000. And you can use, if you're using automations and, or using the chunk sending in VBOUT, you can send 100 emails an hour for 10 hours, for instance. Okay. You can test it out. The difference between VBOUT and other products like Instantly and Lemlist is that VBOUT is a full marketing automation suite. It's not only email, so you can actually send out SMS messages, WhatsApp. You're using our own SMTP service. You don't have to go and buy inboxes from anywhere. We give you a wealth of automations and tools, and we have also AI chatbots. Um, we have 14 tools combined. You have calendar booking, if we're talking within that scope of cold outreach. Um, we have social media suite and deep integration there. So you can think of them as a single point solution. VBOT has 14 tools combined. One of the most powerful one is the email marketing tool. Okay. Any other questions? Ash is asking, it comes to protecting the domain from landing in spam. There are several reasons why domains end up in spam. If you're sending a lot of emails very often and you're not following the compliance rules by having an unsubscribe or click unsubscribe and verifying DKIM and DMARC policy, no sunset policy, yes, your domain can get blacklisted. But then you're doing it wrong to begin with, right? So it's easier for you to follow these best practices, use an email marketing tool that handles all those nuances, and your domain should not land in spam. We've been doing cold emails for the past couple of years, and when I send out emails from my Gmail, that doesn't affect us, not even one bit. But we're doing it right. Small volume, everything is properly set up. We keep on improving, and we have a strict sunset policy. Okay. I'm not a big fan of spam scoring in terms of reputation scoring. I've seen companies come in and they really had a bad reputation score, but they have very good results. Because scoring rely on multiple factors and multiple systems and platforms and third-party filtering and grading system. So scoring is not always accurate, is what I'm trying to say. You know what's accurate? Your own results and response rate. If you're getting out of 1,000 emails, 40, 50 responses, that's actually a pretty good response. Okay. Measure it based on that. Yes, you can use it for cold emails, but again, you have to follow a lot of compliance laws, low level. If you're not doing it right and you're getting a lot of complaints, obviously you're gonna get blacklisted, not only from us, but you're gonna get blacklisted from your subscribers. So yeah, that's it. Now Jay is asking, I'm not sure if I missed it, also can be done through WhatsApp. Yes, you can certainly use VBOUT to now automate your WhatsApp messaging. I did write up about it as well with a video. On help.vbout.com, you guys, you can see it, WhatsApp. Let's see right here. How to link and set up your WhatsApp account. There's a full-on video for it. So let me send you that page. In this video, and there is everything to learn about it there. Not only you can manage your conversations, but you can also create a drip campaign and target people who have WhatsApp messaging. It's pretty awesome. All right, Abdul is asking, can this be used for cold emails to recruiters when hunting for jobs? Um, for hunting, a recruiter hunting for jobs or recruiters hunting for employees? Um, Again, Abdul, cold email is a cold email. As long as you're following the best practices that I shared and the setup, it should be fine. Just don't overdo it. Okay. So compliance laws with WhatsApp, honestly, they're not as strict because it's different messaging, and you know how usually laws, they target one channel at a time. Now, is it worth it for looking up your local compliance laws? Sure. But Meta overall handles a lot of the compliance internally. First, you're gonna get charged for marketing messages on Meta's platform, not VBOUT. So you can send as many as you want from VBOUT, but Meta's gonna have a cap, and they have some sort of basic charge per message. So you're not gonna do unlimited. Um, Also, people can just simply block you directly from WhatsApp. So it has its own built-in sort of opt-out options, if that makes sense. So I don't see a lot of compliance laws issues so far with WhatsApp. Okay, perfect. Any other questions, you guys? All right, it seems like everybody's good. Just a quick close up. Don't forget to follow me on LinkedIn. Um, the mini workshop on AI email marketing, we have one that George have shared in the past. I'll drop it here in the chat somewhere. Let me see. Too many screens open. Uh, where is it? And also, if any of you would like um, to request a free audit, send me an email. Connect with me on LinkedIn and send me an email. Rich at VBOUT, put in free email audit request, and I'll try to make the time to set up a one-to-one 15 to 20 minute to go over your own email campaigns and how you can improve the results. All right, I love doing these. I probably did about 100 and something in the last quarter. Eye opener to see what people are doing. So again, email me direct, mention this event, um, and make sure to put this in the subject line. Awesome. Perfect. Scott, leave your LinkedIn and I'll connect with you if I can as well from my profile. No problem. Well, I appreciate you attending, you guys. We're gonna have a second event this month, probably with a guest. That's why we didn't push this one too hard. But I wanted to start this year the right way by giving you some of the best practices because many of you are doing cold emails. And I want you to do it right and I want you to find success so you can grow your business the right way. So that being said, thank you so much for attending. I hope you have an amazing beginning of the year, and I'll see you on an upcoming event. Thank you so much.